Hello guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Salo. Please do not forget to subscribe, like and also share this video. So Pearl Thusi has made a very sad revelation as she went onto a podcast called Lido, and she revealed that her mom and dad were infected with HIV, and she did not know that, you guys, until 9 years later when her daughter was only 2 years old, that she found out from her father. Without wasting your time, please check out the rest of the video and also subscribe if you've not yet done so, because I shall surely see you on my next one.
Like much later that I found out that my mom had contracted ugh, something from my father, and my mom was like a professional nurse who was even training other nurses at that stage. So
sorry to interject there. Like when you mean caught something, like we have to be
no, like an STD, STI situation, and like she was HIV positive, and my dad was always getting sick, and and at the time, obviously, the stigma attached to HIV was like really wild. And I mean, I would have never brought this up if my dad had still been alive, but it is to say that like my parents also went through a lot, and as much as it's important, I guess, to talk about HIV and the stigmas and the fact that we've progressed so far ahead now, like the last thing I need is for people to look at my parents and just think of, you know what I mean, of that. So yet at the same time, it's important for us to kind of hail those people as heroes who, like my dad survived a much longer time. My mom had gallstones that to this day, like that's a very, what's the word? It's a very normal treatment to have done. Mm-hmm. Like for her to have died from it was apparently very suspicious. Mm-hmm. So but I guess her being HIV positive didn't really help. And then with my dad, like my dad had meningitis maybe 3 times and he survived, which is insane on its own. Like I remember the first time he got it, we were at home. I didn't know what was wrong with my dad. Like I was like, because they didn't tell us anything. And in fact, I found out, I think my daughter must have been 2 or 3 years old. So that would mean that my mother had already been passed on for about 8 years, 6 years, I think. So for me to find out in that way, and my dad was still alive, and I was so angry, and I wanted to, approach him.
Sorry, maybe I'm just getting confused a little bit. So you're saying you only find out about the HIV thing when your mother had passed away for 8 years?
Like I was a mother myself by then. So they never, it was a secret.